What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Today is the day. It is my mock draft 1.0. Now, disclaimer off the top of the episode, okay? These are obligated to change, okay? I'm probably going to change these a couple times, okay? It's just the first one. Some things could still happen that the Colts make in free agency or some other moves that could influence my decision. Okay. Just reminding y'all. Okay. So don't get offended right off the top if I make a pick that you don't necessarily like. Okay. There are some things that could change. Okay. Just let you all know that. All right. So, first things first, I will also say off the top of this that I also did a trade during this mock draft. I didn't go the actual route of just picking at 42 and 73. I actually did a trade in this. So let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do one that's just based off of the actual trade for or the actual draft format that we have now, or if you want me to continue to maybe implement trades if I see them fit. Just let me know. Just let me know. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. So, first pick, number 42 in the draft. I have the Colts selecting Abraham Lucas, tackle from Washington State. Abraham Lucas, 6'6", 315 pounds, 33 and 7/8 inch arms, 10.5 inch hands. I think that he is a guy that is long. He's big. He's actually very athletic for somebody that's that big. Actually ran under 5 seconds in the 40 time for the combine and had a broad jump of 107 inches. So that's over an 8-foot jump, had a 27-inch vertical. I think that Abraham definitely is a guy that I would be interested in selecting early. Like I said in a couple other videos before this, I don't think the Colts are going to go the left tackle route because I think Teron Armstead is going to be gone, and I don't think there's a lot of great options on the market. So I see the Colts selecting one early in the draft to kind of mold him over the span of of time, because Matt Pryor being the left tackle to start out, maybe a guy like an Abraham Lucas comes in, does enough to become the future left tackle. He's not a tremendous run blocking guy. He's going to need some help with that. But then again, we have said it multiple times that, being on that side with Quentin Nelson, it helps you a lot, and they could use the tight end help. The Colts do that a lot. And he's a pretty solid pass protector too, which is why I think the Colts could use him, because you got to put more emphasis on the pass blocking rather than the run blocking. I know get better for Jonathan Taylor, but you also need to protect Matt Ryan. So at number 42, that's Abraham Lucas. And then at number 61, where I traded with San Francisco to go to 61, I gave up our third pick at 73 and gave up one of our third picks next year for this. And I used it to select Alec Pierce, a wide receiver from Cincinnati. So anyone that watched the combine knows who Alec Pierce is, right? He's 6'3", 210 pounds, 33-inch arms, 9-inch hands. He ran a 4.33 at the combine. I think it was actually more like a 4.4, almost on the dot. But nevertheless, that's fast. Had a 40.5-inch vertical, 129-inch broad jump. I mean, the intangibles and the athleticism is all there. He is quick. He is explosive. He's fast. He's long, he's tall, he's strong. I think that is what Ballard is looking for in another wide receiver, right? A guy like an Alec Pierce that can make those contested catches, a guy that you can work on his intangibles to get better. I think Alec Pierce is the perfect mold of a Ballard wide receiver. And there's been debate on whether or not Alec Pierce is even going to be available at this pick. We don't know. Depends on how loaded the free agent market is off the top, right? But for sake of argument, I think Alec Pierce could be a really solid back end second round pick for the Colts, honestly. All right. And then the next pick, where we are actually in the third round here, or actually it's in the fourth round because I traded away our third pick. No, it's actually the last pick of the third round. I apologize. But anyway, I have the Colts selecting Jeremy Ruckert, tight end out of Ohio State. Now, I know everyone's saying, oh my God, Ohio State bias. I've done that before in the past, but hear me out here. I think the Colts need to get another tight end. I didn't want them to go this route of getting a tight end in the draft. I would have preferred to getting one in free agency, but obviously with the quarterback situation, that turned out to be a little difficult. But the reason I like Jeremy Ruckert is because, again, measurables, 6'5", 250 pounds. He's bigger than Granson, has 32 and 3/4 inch arms, 10 and 1/8 inch hands. And Jeremy Ruckert, the way he played at Ohio State, did not get a ton of passing opportunities this last year. He actually had quite a few in 2020 and 2019 with Justin Fields, but that kind of went away with CJ Stroud because they were looking more towards the receivers. But Ruckert, I think, has tremendous hands. I've seen it on full display. He has made some spectacular catches. He's very smooth in the way he operates. And also, again, is a guy that is not afraid to lay down a vicious block on somebody. Ruckert absolutely enjoys blocking. And again, if that doesn't sound like the kind of tight end that Ballard would want to get, right? Somebody that can block really well and is willing to block and then also can make catches. I mean, Ruckert's operates really smoothly. Again, his route running is not great, but he does catch the ball very efficiently and he can run block. I think it's a perfect match for the Colts in that regard. All right. In the fourth round now, I have the Colts selecting Tyshun Anderson, the cornerback out of Toledo. This one I thought was very interesting because, again, the intangibles of a Tyshun Anderson speaks right up Ballard's alley. 6'2", 210 pounds. That's huge for a secondary guy. And again, 33-inch arms, over 10-inch hands. This dude's big for a corner and ran a 4.4 40 time. Actually ran under that a little bit. Had a 35.5-inch vertical. I mean, the athleticism and the length of this guy is all there. This is exactly the kind of corner that Ballard looks for in his type of player. Amazing length, can play through box traffic, fast and rangy, can go from side to side, has good agility. But the problem is, obviously, still has some things he needs to work on. Ironically enough, NFL comparison for him is TJ Green, which is hilarious. But nevertheless, I think he's a great athlete. I think he's really long. I think this is the kind of player that you can eventually see becoming a starter. Like, this is one of those guys that he gets a few years in the NFL and he learns from this. Tyshun Anderson can be a really good player with the length and the athleticism that he has shown over the years. All right, next one. And that is at pick number 159, and that is Kevin Austin Jr., wide receiver out of Notre Dame. 6'2", 200 pounds, ran a 4.43 at the combine, 33-inch arms, had a vertical jump of 39 inches, broad jump of 132 inches. So, really a guy that wasn't used very often at Notre Dame. So, again, one of these guys that has potential, but he's got a long body, very good frame. One of these guys that, you just look at and you say, that's a guy that put in the right system and in the right situation, he definitely can make some good catches down the field. So I'm hoping for that one. All right, next one here, and that is Dominique Robinson, an edge rusher out of Miami, Ohio. 6'5", 253 pounds, so a little undersized when it comes to the weight. It's about the same as Kamoko Toure, actually. 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands. I think, again, a guy that, you could definitely see. And the vertical jump and the broad jump on Dominique Robinson is insane. Has a 41-inch vertical and 121 inches on the broad jump. I mean, this guy's explosive off the line. And, for a max school edge rusher, you really want to see guys like that do that. So he's, again, reminds me a lot of a more athletic Kamoko Toure, which is exactly what the kind of build that Ballard looks for. And especially in Gus Bradley's system with that kind of edge that they're looking for, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. All right, next pick. Got two more here. And the next one is Trey Turner, wide receiver out of Virginia Tech. 6'1", 184 pounds. Didn't have the greatest of days at the combine, but, has been a guy that has consistently gotten numbers. He, had suffered from something which meant he was getting air stuck in his chest between his lungs. So there's the question of physical health. How does he look going forward? But in his career, he averages over 17 yards per catch at Virginia Tech. So it goes to show you this guy can make plays after the catch, which is insane. And the last one that we have here to round out my mock draft is Ben Brown, an interior offensive lineman from Ole Miss. 6'5", 312 pounds, 34.5-inch arms, 10.25-inch hands. Again, he's a position flexible guy. He's played at multiple positions on the offensive line at Ole Miss, but, has had some injury problems in the past. But again, just a guy that you can really anchor down in the middle, reminds me of a lot of Danny Pinter. So let me know what you guys think of this mock draft. That is my first one. So again, let me know what you think in regards to where the players were selected, who you think I should get, who I shouldn't have. But again, let me know. There's going to be more of these before the draft comes up. But again, thank you guys again so much for the continued support. And as always, go Colts.